Hey everybody, it is Rolly, and it is 7:35 on July 31st. Today is our last day in the Northern Ontario market, and so all week I have been sharing the different products that I have and the different services, the different memberships, and different programs. So obviously there's a little bit more than that I have been sharing. But I wanted to be able to talk about some of the things that are actually going on. And so today was our grand opening celebration at the Wellness Center. So even though my allergies are like hugely kicking in. So Brooke and I have actually gone out to Lac Duc Ton. For anybody who is local knows that Lac Duc Ton is a restaurant literally just down the street. So we went and had dinner and a couple of drinks. And so we have a couple of people that are coming to join us here to hang out. And one of the things that is new is this banner. And I don't think that you guys can actually see the entire banner. So it says, "Family are like branches on a growing tree." So you can actually see the rest, but on a growing tree in different directions, yet our roots remain as one. And so it is like so appropriate that that's the one that Brooke and Pam put in here yesterday. They cleaned up my entire office. So we had our grand opening today for the center. So even though it's not my specific grand opening, I've had my particular grand opening. And so this one here is from the Wellness Center. And so I just noticed that they actually spelt the name wrong. But this one here is from the Parliament office, and I will actually send them a message and say, "Hey, can you guys redo it?" But the chamber actually did it correctly. So they actually had Bridging the Gap Wellness Center. And so although center should be spelt the way that John Vantoff's office spelt it, because this would be the correct way of spelling it, it is purposely ER as opposed to RE. And the center is spelled ER instead of RE because a center is the building, which is one of the things that we are celebrating. But ER is to center yourself. So it's kind of like a play on words where, so the Bridging the Gap Wellness Center is about being able to come in and be centered. So that is by having access to the different services that I offer, as well as having access to the services that now we have Jeremy full-time, but we've had Wendy for the last year who's actually been coming in and offering her nutritional consultant services. I think Wendy started in November, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Marianne. So I think Wendy came in and started offering her services in November. And she's an incredible nutritional consultant. So she comes in and does live blood. So her first clinic date post-COVID. Hey, Jennifer. So her first clinic date post-COVID is next Saturday. But she's also coming in on Friday to do a foot detox. So I'm super excited about that because it's been a while since we've been able to do the foot detoxes. And so I'm looking forward to that, as well as I am scheduling a time. Hey, Jen, I'm scheduling a time with her to be able to do my live blood analysis, to be able to see where things are going. So she never recommends that anybody does their live blood analysis more than or less than 3 months difference. And so when her next clinic date was supposed to happen, so I had my test done in January, so February, March, April. So I should have been coming in to do my follow-up with her on in April. However, that clinic got closed, shut down. And then we also have Wendy. Hey, Amanda. I'm going to be resuming the kids anxiety program, just so that you know. Amanda, I know that you didn't get a chance to come in today during the open house, but I'm going to be actually resuming the kids anxiety program soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing it in August but for sure I'm going to be resuming them in September, but I haven't decided yet. Just based on the feedback of the parents and stuff that have been coming in today that have spoken to me or that have spoken to somebody on the team, is that we are looking at potentially starting them back up again, potentially in kind of mid-August, but we'll see for sure. But for sure, we will be resuming in September. So Brooke is actually outside my window. I want to thank all of you guys for the amazing questions that you guys have been asking all along. And although I didn't get my 7 posts in yesterday, I am thankful for all the different questions. I had a lot of people dropping in today specifically asking questions about some of the things that, more specific questions about the offers. And so at the Wellness Center, one of the things that I used to do is that whenever I was doing any workshops or doing, and not just me, but anybody that was coming in and doing, hey, Julie, anybody that was coming in and doing clinics or workshops or that kind of thing, we used to create an event page, but we stopped all that pre-COVID. One of the reasons why we stopped that was because we had, Libby will be excited, she misses you in Brooklyn. Actually, we need to plan a date where her and where it's just me, her, and Brooklyn, so that we can actually do some hangout time before we actually start bringing in the other kids, Amanda. So definitely want to be able to set that up. Hey, Ryan. And so but one of the things that pre-COVID that we were doing was event pages where whenever we were doing a workshop or a class, that kind of thing, that those classes were actually running in an event, because it made a huge difference. I know that it does for me when I'm scrolling through Facebook, to be able to have an event page where I can actually like saying that I'm interested, and then I get those reminders. And so that is one of the things that I'm going to be doing. So anything that I offer in terms of groups is that you need to register 48 hours beforehand. If it is after the 48 hours, then you're not going to be able to register on your own. We can manually add you, but I always recommend that people register 48 hours beforehand, because then we know how many people are coming. You forgot my name on the live. I'm going to have to go back and watch your live. I have not had a chance to actually be in the Northern Ontario Market group this week. It has been crazy. Brooke and I were supposed to be doing Young Living stuff this week, and nothing for Young Living. I think we got the first 2 days in and then didn't get a chance to be able to get anything else in. That we weren't able to get anything else in for the Northern Ontario Market to be able to share about Young Living. There are so many things about Young Living, so we're actually going to be jumping back in. One of the things that we were supposed to be doing was jumping back in with the leg art this week, because we got a new stock of got a new stock of leg art, so we were actually going to feature leg art this week. But I really definitely need a break. Brooklyn definitely needs a break, so we are actually off. So Brooke is, depending on what kind of activities and stuff are going on in the community, Brooke closes on the Saturday of the long weekend. Unless we're going to be super busy in the community, then we stay open on the Saturday. We are definitely closed this coming Saturday, and looking forward to some downtime. And so I know that's one of the things that I shared. I'm not sure if it was yesterday or today that I actually shared about connecting with Colette Barron-Reid. And so I've missed all day's activities. I could have potentially still participated in this evening's activities, but instead Brooklyn and I went to Luktukton. So that is where we went. But anything in terms of the sales, so I actually put down in the description that last day for sales is today. So there was a couple of posts that actually had put out there where you can actually have access to a couple of free services, and gave you the information to be able to access those free services. I know that Penny tried to and wasn't able to, but there was a problem with one of the links, so we fixed that. Yes, I did. And was trying to thank you and failed. No, you didn't fail. I am horrible with names, so like it's all good. Seriously, trust me. And looking forward to being able to get some Sopology with you. And so that's because that's the tea that we actually offer in our center. So definitely being able to replenish our cans. I'll actually have to take a picture, Ryan, and post it and tag you in our cans so that you can actually see what it is that we have in terms of our supply of steep tea. And so there's that. And then there was another post that actually talked about being able to access 50% off, as well as 100% off if you were already a member or had already been, that you're already an active client of mine. And so there's two different offers that were actually available to people. And so, but there's a catch as to how you were able to access those discount codes. So if you didn't access those discount codes in the same way that we're instructed, then you're not going to have access to them. Anybody who did access those discount codes have access to them until the end of August, because those discount codes will be active until August 31st. So if you're not booking in immediately, you have a little bit of time. But if you activate those discounts before 9 p.m. tonight, then you will actually have the opportunity to be added into the $100 draw if you are part of the Northern Ontario market. So it's a $100 shopping spree. And if you were part of that group, then because I'm also posting this on my Facebook page as well as my YouTube channel. And so if you access either one of those and part of the group, then you have the ability of being able to be added into, there's Brooklyn, be added into the discount. So anybody that knows me knows that I do not drink very often. So the fact that I'm actually jumping on live with red eyeballs is probably not necessarily a positive thing, but in this case, it definitely is, because we are celebrating 1 year of being in our center. So like, this is our space. And like I said, Pam and Brooke cleaned up my office today, and so my desk actually looks really cool. I don't know where any of my papers are or how to be able to find them. And so that's going to be the next challenge for next week. But right now it doesn't matter, because my desk is actually nice and clear and clean. And like I said, the fact that they actually chose that particular banner, and I'm going to go to here where, there you go, so that you can actually see the whole banner. So that is the banner that is actually here. And the fact that they actually chose this one specifically, so families are really, really important to me.
Specifically choose that one.
And the fact that it's blue, right? So like, that's even, because blue is my favorite color. So, but like, I'm super, super stoked. I'm super, super excited. We had a lot of people come into our center, a lot of people that were new into our center. We had a lot of people that normally come into our center, and that has been great. But we had a lot of really new people come into our center. So of course, coming into our center, this is what we look like.
I don't, wait, where's mine? Where is it? Oh, it's in there.
So anybody coming in got to see me doing this. And when I was doing a lot of talking, I was doing a lot of this, because as I was talking, the mask was actually going into my face. So I was constantly doing this. And there's Brooklyn back there. So Brooklyn typically has a gray mask, as opposed to the rest of us who have a blue mask. These masks were created courtesy of A&B Digital Printing. So A&B does a lot of our signs, does a lot of our printing. So there is some printing that I actually do here, but for the bulk of my major printing is done through A&B. And so it's called A&B Digital Printing, and they are amazing.
These are super comfortable.
And they are super comfortable. Except for that when you talk a lot, you're constantly, and it doesn't matter which mask it is that I use, but when you're talking a lot, you're like inhaling the mask. So I've been doing a lot of like today, because today has been busier, which has been great. We did our ribbon cutting with our masks on today. So that was actually kind of interesting. And hey, Angie, hey, Nick. And so that was kind of interesting. But the, and I'm still hearing this. So yeah, so like super excited and super pumped about how exciting all of these things are going on. And so there was some conversations today about website. So we've actually literally just created a website that is Bridging the Gap Wellness Center.ca. And so right now it doesn't have any content on it, but that's one of the things is that we're going to be listing all of the different services, all of the different workshops that I'm offering, as well as some of the other practitioners. I know that Wendy has different workshops that she normally does. And I don't know if she's going to resume those again. She was actually coming in twice a month. She would come in once a month to do the workshop, and then, excuse me, and then she would come in again the next month to be able to run her clinic date. And so those were two different times when she would come in. And on the days that she was coming in to do her workshop, she would potentially still have some times available to be able to connect with people. So, but her clinic date, her first clinic date, so she's doing the foot spa, foot detox, actually. It's not necessarily foot spa, so foot detox. She's doing that on Friday, August 7th, and she's doing it, if I'm not mistaken, so don't quote me on the times, but I think she's doing it from 12 p.m. until 6 or somewhere around that range. But she has a link that she actually uses to register.
Super awesome.
It definitely is. I'm really looking forward to being able to do that. And then her clinic consults are on Saturday. So I know that for sure I'm going to be in on one of those times. I just don't know exactly what time, because I always try and make sure that the clients have first options as to the times that are available, so that clients can be booked in at the time that works for them. And then I just kind of plug in the different spaces. So for sure, I'm going to be doing my follow-up. And then, like I said, Dana is starting again on September 4th, and she's going to be coming in and doing her clinic. So she came during our women's conference and offered some different feedback and some different kinds of scans. But then on September 5th or September 4th, she's going to be doing clinics. And then she hasn't given me the date, but she's actually looking at some dates to be able to come in and do some breast health work. And then, of course, we've got Jeremy, who's coming in and offering his services. He's going to be here full time. So his first week is August 11th is his first day. And he's completely booked that week. We were having a conversation, and he's considering opening up some spots, but he's definitely filling up for the following week. But yeah, so like super exciting that all of these things are happening here at our center. I'm hoping that yoga is going to be starting back up again soon. However, I haven't yet had a confirmation as to when that is being offered, but I also know that Jeremy offers some yoga stuff depending on what it is that he's doing, but he's also going to be looking at some different workshops that he's going to be offering. So lots of really cool, exciting things are starting to happen again in phase 3 of COVID. Hey, Kathy. And so super pumped, super excited. And so thank you, all of you, for joining us on this journey. Thank you, all of us, for supporting us in the last year. And us, I mean the center. Us, I mean the Divine Crystal Healing Shop. Us, I mean the practitioners that have actually come into our center and that are coming back into our center. I know that we are doing a book signing with Maggie so Maggie Morris, who was one of our speakers 2 years ago for the women's conference. She's coming in to do book signing for her new book that she has completed. She's got a couple of other books that she's actually participated in as well. I'm trying to think of some of the other things that are off the top of my head that are actually happening here in Haileybury at the center. But for sure, my services are still offered virtually as well as in person. So super pumped, super stoked, super excited. And I want to thank all of you and remind all of you that if you make a purchase, if you are in the Northern Ontario market, if you actually sign up for something this evening before 9 p.m., then I will be contacting Penny to say, hey, this is something that has been purchased. We have a number of different hay tray. So we have a number of different options. So if you're a current client already, then there is some things that you can actually book into at 100% off, but you have to find the right instructions in order to be able to get the details. And a few people have actually received them. I have received a couple of messages. Congratulations on my special day. We missed you today. So we have a couple of people who have actually messaged me and said, hey, I'm really interested in your discount. However, if you did not follow the instructions the way that they were actually given, then you're not going to get the discount information. So it is what it is, and you only have until today to be able to access that discount information. So if you are a new client, you have access to 50% off on any one-to-one services, and you have or 50% on any packages or any bundles. So if it's a membership, or if it is because there was a couple of things, so membership and our packages are one-to-one coaching bundles. So you actually get 1 month at half price. And if you are a current member and you've actually accessed this information or these services, then you get 100% off on some given services, as well as you get 50% off on the first payment of a different kind of bundle or a package or membership that you are signing up for. So there's different things that you had access to, but you only have to today. I'm not telling you which post it was. That gives you the details about how to be able to access it. If you do not follow those instructions before the end of today, then you don't have access to that. Anybody who did have access to that has access to that to the end of August. And I also did some energy healing, so you'd have to find the post as well. But I did some energy healing where you actually have access to technically it's a 30-minute session, but really it's only about 15 minutes, because it gives you, so we have a conversation about what the services are, what it is that it looks like. We have the roughly about 15 minutes, and then some discussion afterwards about what your experiences were, and those are 100% free. So that post is there, and so that is available until August 31st. So if you stumble and come across the post or across this post, then if you find that post before the end of August, you'll have access to that as well. So anyway, I will jump off, and I want to thank all of you for joining us. And like I said, you have until this evening at 9 p.m. by 9 p.m. to be able to sign up for something and pay for one of the services in order to be able to be entered into the draw for a $100 shopping spree if you are a Northern Ontario Market member. So I will chat with all of you guys later, and thanks so much for all of your support. Thanks so much for all of the questions and all of the feedback that you guys have been able to provide over this last week. And thank you for being part of our celebrations. So I will chat with everybody later. Bye for now.